Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. The revision PDF are uploaded on this Telegram channel. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now, let's start. As per the recent union budget, the gig economy workers are going to be covered under which organization? So, all the social security benefits will be extended to the gig economy workers and to the platform workers. This was announced during the recent budget. Now, first thing first, what is gig economy? It means a market system where people are hired for short term. What is the meaning of this term? Platform workers or platform economy. So, it is an economy or economic system that is facilitated by platforms. For example, digital platform. On the other hand, in case of gig economy, you are hiring people for short-term basis. For example, contractual workers. So now the government has announced that the social security benefits will be extended to these kind of workers as well. And these workers will be covered under ESIC, that is Employees State Insurance Corporation. Apart from that, the finance minister also announced that women will be allowed to work in night shifts with adequate protection. What is the name of global conference being hosted by Kerala State Planning Board? So the name of this conference is Kerala Looks Ahead. So it aims to frame the roadmap for long-term development in the state. Now recently, Kerala was also in news as it is the first state to announce MSP for vegetables. It was also in news because of Arya Rajendran, as she is the youngest mayor in our country and she is mayor from the Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. Kerala was also in news because of a recent CAG report, and in this report there was certain observation about KIIFB, that is Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Board. In a response to that, Kerala recently passed a resolution against this CAG report. What is CAG? It is Comptroller and Auditor General of India. What is the outlay of the Deep Ocean Mission which was announced recently in the Union Budget? So it is 4,000 crore rupees and it has been announced for over 5 years. So this is about the exploration of ocean, and this will also include projects to conserve the deep sea biodiversity. So it will have projects to explore the resources plus to conserve the biodiversity in the ocean. Now in this ocean context, recently Digital Ocean was also in news. So this is an initiative by MOES, that is Ministry of Earth Sciences. To be specific, this Digital Ocean is a database for ocean related data. That means this platform has been developed by INCO-IS, that is Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, and this is a Hyderabad based center and it is under Ministry of Earth Sciences. Present minister is Dr. Harshvardhan. So it is a first of its kind digital platform for ocean data management. RBI has appointed an external firm to audit HDFC Bank under the provisions of which act? So it is Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Recently, RBI appointed an external professional IT firm to carry out the special audit of the entire IT infrastructure of HDFC Bank. Previously, RBI had already penalized the HDFC Bank for repeated service failures in the internet banking. Now, to make sure that everything is appropriate in the infrastructure of HDFC Bank, RBI has appointed this external firm to audit. And this has been done as per the provisions of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Recently, RBI was also in news because of Monetary Policy Committee. It was also in news because of DSIB, that is Domestic Systemically Important Banks. So 3 banks are DSIB. These are SBI, HDFC and ICICI. RBI was also in news because of PIDF, that is Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. It was also in news because of Jayant Kumar Das Committee. So this committee was constituted by RBI to regulate the digital lending platforms to prevent any kind of frauds. RBI was also in news as recently it proposed 4-tier structure for the regulation of NBFC, that is non-banking financial companies. Now all these news events are the potential question for your upcoming examination. Which technology company has launched a new initiative called Startup School? So this has been launched by Google. The parent company of Google is Alphabet. Recently, Alphabet was in news as it announced that it is going to drop its Project Loon. So Project Loon was a project that was started to provide internet connectivity in the unconnected areas with the help of balloons. Now, Alphabet has announced that they are going to discontinue this project. Google was also in news as recently it acquired Fitbit. Google was also in news as recently it threatened Australia in the context of mandatory bargaining code. It threatened, that means Google threatened, that they are going to discontinue the search services in Australia if Google is forced to pay for the news content. Which space agency has announced the launch of its first all-civilian mission to space. So this has been announced by SpaceX. SpaceX is a company by Elon Musk. So this is going to be a all-civilian mission. All-civilian means everyone will be a civilian. So the mission will be first all-commercial astronaut mission to the orbit. Name is Inspiration 4. So please remember this name. This is important. And this will be launched using the Falcon 9 rocket of SpaceX. SpaceX is a company by Elon Musk. And this mission is a charity-focused mission commanded by Gerard Isaacman. So Gerard Isaacman is a American businessman. Now recently SpaceX was also in news because of its record of 143 satellites. Recently SpaceX launched 143 satellites into the space, and the previous record was by ISRO, which had launched 104 satellites in one go. Apart from this, there was one more event related to space. It is Stardust 1.0. So it was a launch vehicle, and it is the first launch vehicle to run on a biofuel, and it has been manufactured by Blue Shift. So 3 important points. First, it is a launch vehicle, so it is going to launch satellites, and it is so special. And why it is so special? Because this is the first rocket to run on a biofuel, and it has been manufactured by Blue Shift. It is an American company. So you can see a lot of private companies are involved in the space activities in USA. Patti Chitra, which was in news, is a popular art form of which state or union territory. So it is related to Odisha. It is a traditional style of painting on a cloth-based scroll. Why it was in news? Because recently Prime Minister Mr. Modi mentioned it during his Man Ki Baat radio program, and that is why it was in news. So Patti Chitra is a style of painting, and it is associated with Odisha. Now with the help of this art form, the artist sometimes try to convey the mythological stories. Which Indian city is the venue of global air show Aero India? So for this time, that means for the 13th edition, Bengaluru is the host, and it is organized at Yelahanka Air Force Station in Bengaluru. Now please remember, this is the 13th edition, and it is hosted by Defense Exhibition Organization. It is under MOD, that is Ministry of Defense. Now recently, this Yelahanka Air Force Station was also in news because the Defense Minister inaugurated Chief of Air Staff conclave at this Air Force Station, and this is in Bengaluru in Karnataka. Now coming back to this global air show Aero India. So as per media reports, this is world's first hybrid air show. What does that mean? That means those who can attend in person, they can visit it, and those who cannot attend in person because of the COVID-19 situation, they can attend it digitally. So hybrid means you can visit it physically as well. That means you can go there in Bengaluru to attend it, or you can attend it digitally as well. That's why it is being called as first hybrid air show. India's first amputee clinic has been recently launched in which city? So recently this was launched in Chandigarh in Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, and it is first amputee clinic of India. So this will provide the holistic services to its patient. This will include social, mental and physical support to its patients. Chandigarh is the joint capital of Haryana and Punjab. As per a recent research, protein-based devices have been designed to detect which disease? So this disease is COVID-19. So scientists have developed a new protein-based biosensor to detect the novel coronavirus. Let me explain you in simplified language. Suppose this is coronavirus. Now on the surface of this virus there is a protein. Now with the help of this new method, this protein will be identified. Now this will be emitting light. That means once it will identify the protein, it will bind with this protein and then it will emit light, and that is how we can detect whether it is a virus or not. So this device recognizes the unique molecules which are present on the surface of virus, and then they are going to bind to them, and therefore they will emit light through biochemical reaction. So this is how we are going to detect it. Now this method is faster than RT-PCR method. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. So first is M.A. Chidambaram Stadium. This is in Chepauk in Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Why it was in news? Because India is going to host the first international test match amid COVID-19. So this is first test match hosted by India in this pandemic situation. That's why it is in news. Next is EESL, that is Energy Efficiency Services Limited. So EESL has signed agreement with Coal India, and now EESL is going to help Coal India to reduce its carbon footprint. Carbon footprint means to reduce the emission of carbon. Next is world's first consignment of carbon neutral oil. So recently Reliance got the world's first consignment of carbon neutral oil from USA. Next is Human Milk Bank. So Kerala's first Human Milk Bank has been started at Ernakulam General Hospital. Please note that Asia's first Human Milk Bank was established in Mumbai, and this was established in 1989. Next is Swachh Delhi. So this is an awareness campaign by the Delhi government to make people aware about the benefits of electric vehicles. As per the policy launched by the Delhi government, the target is to have 25% of all vehicles in Delhi as electric vehicles by 2024. Next is Har Ghar Pani, Har Ghar Safai. So this is an initiative by the Punjab government. Objective is to promote sanitation and to provide piped drinking water. In this context, recently, Union government also announced Jal Jeevan Mission urban component. Next is Govardhan. So recently, a portal has been launched for monitoring the Govardhan activities across the nation. This portal has been launched by Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Dharmendra Pradhan, who is our Petroleum Minister, and Giriraj Singh, who is Minister of Animal Husbandry, and Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. So what is the objective of this portal? Objective is to support the villages in proper management of their cattle waste. Next is Ashok Dinda. So he is cricketer. Recently he announced his retirement. Next is NDJC. So he is going to be the next CEO of Amazon, as recently Jeff Bezos decided to step down. Next is Praveen Sinha. So he has been appointed as the interim director of CBI. CBI is Central Bureau of Investigation. CBI represents India in Interpol. Interpol is International Police. Headquarters is in Lyon in France. Next is Aisa Aziz. So she is India's youngest female pilot. Next is Ajay Singh. So he was in news because he has been re-elected as the president of Boxing Federation of India. Next is Democracy Index. So this has been released by EIU, that is Economic Intelligence Unit. Headquarters is in London. As per the recent report, or as per the recent index, India's ranking is 53. India slipped 2 places as compared to last index. Next is S.N. Subramanian. So recently he has been appointed as the chairperson of National Safety Council, and he is the CEO and MD of L&T. Next is Lieutenant General C.P. Mohanty. So he is going to be the next Vice Chief of Army Staff. Recently he assumed his charge. Next is Kapila Program. So it stands for Kalam Program for Intellectual Property Literacy and Awareness Campaign. So recently this program was in news because of a question in Parliament, and that's why this was in news. Actually, it is an old program which was launched on 15th of October in 2020, and it is named after our former President Dr. Kalam, and it is related to the awareness about intellectual property. Next is related to China Global Television Networks, that is CGTN. So recently, UK revoked the license of this channel to air its programs in UK. UK is United Kingdom, and the broadcasting regulator of UK is Ofcom. So recently it revoked, that means it suspended or cancelled the license of this China Global Television Networks. Next is International Day of Human Fraternity. So this is on 4th of February. 4th of February is also observed as World Cancer Day. So the theme of International Day of Human Fraternity is a pathway to the future. The theme of World Cancer Day was I am and I will. Actually this theme is from 2019 to 2021. So for this time period, this is the theme. These were the most important news events. Now test. First question is Har Ghar Pani, Har Ghar Safai mission has been launched in which Indian state or union territory? Second question is who has taken charge as the Vice Chief of Army Staff in India? Third question is Mitra scheme is related to which sector? Fourth question is Adi Mahotsav is an initiative of which union ministry? Fifth question is which country has announced that it will formally apply for the Trans-Pacific Trade Association, and it is CPTPP. Next question is, the ASEAN India Hackathon is an initiative by which union ministry? Seventh question is, Indo-American Bhavya Lal has been appointed as the acting chief of staff of which organization? Eighth question is, who is the author of book titled The Little Book of Encouragement? And ninth question is, which word is selected as the Oxford Hindi Word of 2020? And 10th question is, who has been appointed as the new MD of LIC? Now these questions are already covered in our videos. So if you are not able to score more than 6, that means you are not revising properly. So that was all for the day. Thank you.